Let me start by asking you a question. If you use Bricks Builder and you hand a site off to a client, do you restrict access to the admin dashboard so they can't get in and start making changes to your content? If you do, let me know down below. If you don't, let me know how you handle it, again, down in the comment section down below. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can streamline, give access to certain features, but restrict access to more advanced features or basically anything you want to. We're going to be using Advanced Themer for this, which is an amazing plugin that opens up so many options to speed up how you work with WordPress. I'll put a link in the description so you can check it out for yourself. But let's take a quick look now at a kind of example that I've got set up, and I'll show you how you can do this kind of thing for yourself. So if we take a look, this is logged in as an editor as part of a WordPress website. This is inside Bricks Builder, and as you can see, it looks a little bit stripped back already. We have things like the options for mobile breakpoints and so on removed. We've got a very stripped back set of options on the top left-hand side. We've got the structure panel and some basic options, but our left-hand panel is currently missing. So what exactly is going on? Well, let's say we choose this image and we want to allow people to make changes to the image, but not mess other things up. We'll choose the image and you see that brings back our left-hand panel. But what we've got is a very bare bones set of options. They can change the image. So we can just select an image from the media library. We'll choose this one, for example, and insert. And you can see that now updates the image. They can change the size of the image. They can add some custom alt text, and they can even choose where it links to. But that's basically all they can do. However, if we take a look at something like this container with the heading, you'll see that if we choose the heading, we have basically no controls, no options whatsoever at this point in time. The same thing goes for the text underneath it. If we choose the description, for example, or we choose any of these other options, we have a very limited set of tools. Now, handling this with Advanced Themer is incredibly simple. You see, I'm in the Advanced Themer theme settings, and we're going to take a look at what's called Strict Editor View. This allows us to lock down what people can and can't access. So if we take a look, we've got a couple of tabs on the left-hand side that allow us to break down how we set things up. And there's still more to this. This is just basic settings. So from here, you can choose what can and can't be seen. So under General, for example, we can enable or disable things like white label, toolbars, elements, and so on. Hover over any of the little information icons and you'll see we get a pop-up tooltip to tell us what that function does if you're unsure. Again, same thing, go over to white label. You can customize the color. So if you have specific branding that you use, you can change the default branding that's part of Bricks. Hover over to the toolbar, for example, and this is where you can set up what you'll see on the top toolbar. So you can see I've got the breakpoints are currently disabled. So if we look at the editor, you can see there's no breakpoints enabled at the top. So we can use these options to fine-tune and refine everything. If, for example, you want to remove the logo, the Bricks logo, you can remove it. Remove the help, pages, revisions. You kind of get the idea of what you can do here. And if you jump into the elements section, this is where you can toggle the options for what are available. So, for example, you can see we can toggle things like headings, basic text, and so on. So you can give access to various different features. We've also got build it, tweak for the editor as well, so we can control various different things, what we do and don't want to see, and what elements with the left panel of visibility are enabled. So you can globally enable and disable functions inside you, or you can do it on an instance by instance basis. So let's take a look at that next. So this is the page that we've just seen from an editor's point of view, but now we're taking a look at this from the standard full access admin user point of view. So all of our options are available. Now, if we take a look at the image, for example, we'll select that, and you'll notice that, well, everything looks the same as normal. But if we come up to the AT menu at the top, which is the Advanced Themer menu, and open this, we're going to choose the option for the Strict Editor Settings. We'll enable that function, and now you'll see we get all these switches next to every single option. Now, you can have this set to everything disabled by default in the settings for Advanced Themer, or you can have everything enabled and you can manually disable what you don't want access to. That's how it's currently set up. So you can see anywhere we've got a little yellow tick, that says that is available to the editor. Anything with a red is not available. So for example, we may want to enable the option for the HTML tag. So we can enable that, come back up to the AT menu, and make sure we hit the little save icon from here. Clicking Save in the top right-hand corner will not save the settings for the Strict Editor inside Advanced Themer. So make sure you come back into the AT menu and choose the Save Settings option from there. So now we can just do the same thing. Let's say, for example, we come into the heading. We want to allow them to change the heading information. Well, again, let's come back up, make sure we enable the strict editor mode. And then we can just choose what we do and don't want to give them access to. So we may say we don't want them to change the actual tag or the type or the style, but we want them to allow them to change the content and change the link to location. So we just come up to the AT menu, make sure we save this, save our page afterwards. And now coming back in as an editor, if we click our text, you can see now our options, which are limited, are available on the left-hand side. Now, if for any reason you don't see the settings pop up here, you can edit inline if you want to, but if you don't see these options, you need to enable them inside the settings for Advanced Thema. So again, coming into the Advanced Thema settings, you can see we can choose under the Elements section what is available from the left-hand panel. So things like the heading, image, video, and so on. So you may want to lock these things down completely to give no access. It's entirely up to you. But what this allows us to do is get very, very flexible on how we can give access to specific parts of our design and then lock down other aspects. Great if you're creating sites for someone and you want to hand it off to them. Now, if you want to find out more about working with Advanced Thema and some of the other options that I think are absolutely invaluable, check out this video next. Maybe this will give you another reason to check out Advanced Thema for yourself.